It appears that the judge that is overseeing pretrial hearings for accused CEO killer Luigi Mangione, who has pled not guilty in the assassination of United Health CEO Brian Thompson, may herself have some conflicts of interest. What do I mean by that? Well, Magistrate Judge Catherine H. Parker happens to be married to former Pfizer executive and holds hundreds of thousands of dollars in stock. That's Brett Parker, her husband, who left Pfizer back in 2010. So now the judge, Catherine Parker, has, as I mentioned, thousands of dollars in stocks, including in healthcare companies and pharmaceutical companies. This according to her 2023 financial disclosures. So now her husband, Brett Parker, as I mentioned, left Pfizer 14 years ago, uh, where he served as vice president and assistant general counsel after holding these same titles at Wyeth, a pharmaceutical manufacturer that was purchased by Pfizer. Hmm. So, been there for quite some time doing healthcare industry stuff. Now, according to Parker's disclosures, her husband, Brett, still collects a pension from his time at Pfizer in the form of a senior executive retirement plan, or SERP. Hmm. Pfizer, of course, happens to be the largest pharmaceutical company by revenue, bringing in about $58.5 billion in 2023. So huge, right? Everybody knows Pfizer. They're the ones that had the first COVID vaccine, which, by the way, works great. Okay. So I don't have any issue with their work, but I do have an issue with the fact that they do tend to gatekeep a lot of life saving medications. In fact, the aforementioned COVID vaccine now costs money if you want to get it. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem, right? Now the company has had a share of controversies, including paying out hundreds of millions of dollars to settle multiple illegal marketing accusations. Uh, and so, yeah, that's one of the issues, right? And as far as Judge Parker's investments, she holds between $50,000 to $100,000 in Pfizer stocks. And the reason that there is a bit of a range there is we don't know for certain how much in value she holds in stock. So you have to kind of give that range. Okay. Now, that's not all. Okay. Parker also holds scattered interests in pharmaceutical, biotech, and healthcare companies like Abbott Laboratories, the owner of St. Jude. St. Jude does a lot of great work when it comes to like helping kids with cancer. Okay, and so in cancer research, great things, right? But at the same time, Abbott, the owner, not into such great things. In fact, they were recently known for manufacturing tainted and toxic baby formula. Okay, so they didn't clean out their machines good enough, and this formula was tainted, led to deaths. Okay, this was during the pandemic, and so of course they had to shut down. And because they own such a large market share of the baby food market, you ended up having a shortage. I remember, and I think a lot of you remember as well, where it was very, very difficult for people with infants to be able to get baby formula, and so that's a big problem, right? Now, not only that, but Abbott also fraudulently billed Medicaid for glucose monitors and sold faulty deep brain stimulation devices. So, yeah, a lot of issues there with that company. Parker also estates in pharmaceutical, biotech, and medical device investments like Viatris, Intella Therapeutics, Ace Technology, and CRISPR Therapeutics. The only one that I actually know really anything about is CRISPR. Well, I don't know if we've all heard of CRISPR, but I know it's the gene editing, thing that they use. Okay, so there you go. Obviously, there seems to be a problem here. You have a judge who has profited off our broken healthcare system, right? Um, by being married to someone who worked in that industry, and so now she's presiding over a case where a man is alleged to have killed a CEO in order to, at least in the prosecution's case, to terrorize the leaders of the healthcare industry. Hmm. Now, something tells me this does not seem to be like it's going to be a fair trial. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and I hope I am. But I don't know. Something didn't sit with me right on this. Now, Mangione, by the way, has been charged with a terrorism modifier to murder. That's what he's accused of. And innocent until proven guilty, obviously. But here's the thing: I think adding a terrorism modifier to this is the way of their way of sending a message. And who do I mean by that? Elites, okay, people who are incredibly wealthy and powerful, and they're not sending the message to Mangione, who again has only been accused of a crime. Um, but the message is to anyone who may sympathize with his position, not the alleged actions that he had taken, because of course we all agree that murder is wrong. But uh, you know, i- his alleged actions were um, informed by his hatred of the broken for-profit privatized healthcare system that does kill 68,000 people per year, Americans. And we're the only country in the world that has high rates of medical bankruptcy. People go bankrupt from medical bills as a result of our system. But again, he had pled not guilty and is innocent until proven guilty. That's very, very important. That's how our system of justice works, or is supposed to. Now, that said, his attorney, Karen Friedman Agnifilo, said that she was very concerned about whether Mangione would get a fair trial. And judging on the judge and her ties to the medical industry, I'm inclined to agree. Now, another thing that she said is that court authorities were making a spectacle of the case. I wouldn't just say that it was court authorities, right? But I mean, we're talking about the mayor of New York, okay? Uh, Eric Adams doing showing up during a perp walk. I mean, what? And then being like, I wanted to look him in the eye and tell him that he's not going to do terrorism in my city and get away with it. Well, first of all, we don't know that he did it, innocent and still proven guilty. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to send a message, right? You're just trying to be like, oh, hey, look, we're gonna go after this guy who has made you very, very scared. Yes, very scared. And they set up a hotline. Kathy Hochul did for CEOs that are afraid, you know, that feel a little scared. This is while the NYPD shoots turnstile jumpers, okay, and school children are literally afraid to go to school because of school shooters. You know, in Wisconsin, for example, there was a shooting at a Christian school. Spend millions and millions of dollars, the states do, the schools do, on things that don't actually keep children safe. But we're not really worried about that. But we are worried about, you know, CEOs feeling a little scared because someone had decided to take it into their own hands. Which again, I do think that it's wrong. I don't. We'll never condone murder, right? But at the same time, it really shows you the rage that people have. His the support for this alleged killer. In fact, um, his lawyer said, "quote This is a highly unusual situation we find ourselves in. I've never seen anything like it." Well, that's because this is a very, very different case from I think what we've seen in a long time. Agree with it or not, like it or not, and whether he is guilty or not, he is right now considered a symbol of the rage that many people rightfully feel at elites who have been taking advantage of us for so long. But to me, going along with that, it's no surprise that this judge happens to be a beneficiary of the same kinds of elites. As our justice system, to me, seems less like a system of actual justice. I mean, you only look at the things that Trump, the incoming president elect, has been charged with, okay, and the cases that never made it to trial. It doesn't seem like it's a system of real justice, but more of a system designed to keep certain people, certain classes of people in line. That said, I hope that I'm wrong about all of this. I hope I am. And I hope that Luigi Mangione receives a fair and impartial trial by a jury of his peers, and that jury is guided by one thing: justice. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.